back to the second game in the semi-final matchup between pwA and 3D Max in the Tt.esports League of Legends Cup. And we did just see that first game going down. Unfortunately, from pwA's perspective, it was a bit of a whitewash to say the least, as 3D Max really bossed it up. In particular, their jungler with Lee Sin was just all over the map, and of course that is going to be kind of reflected with the fact they have banned him out first. Also took out Shen, because obviously Shen has got such a big buff recently, and we kind of saw last game just how strong he can be. So the bans have been Lee Sin, Rise and Shen coming up from pwA, and from 3D Max, Heimerdinger, Fiddlesticks and Nautilus. Now, I'm not entirely sure if maybe they're troll bans, because I don't really regard any of those three champions as being quote-unquote OP or strong in any kind of way. So I'm not sure what's going on here. We are going to see Rayback picking first. Of course, he is the mid champion for pwA, or the mid player I should say, and it looks like he could be picking up a Brand here. Of course, Brand's AoE capabilities are absolutely ridiculous. He has his second ability, which has the big AoE on the ground, of course, and his ultimate's kind of like if you imagine Fiddlesticks' crows but on fire and just bouncing around, melting everyone's face. That's pretty much Brand's ultimate. So Mundo's going to come in here from 3D Max, and insta-lock could very well be solo top. And we are just waiting for that second lock to come in. It's going to look to be Alistair. So, yep, they have locked in Alistair. So, obviously, probably going to be support for his team. Back over to pwA again. Frocky is normally the AD carry, and Foslar is their jungler. Foslar is going to pick up Rammus. Extremely strong jungler, huge improvement in my opinion over Gangplank. I'll say it again, Gangplank doesn't really get too much ganking capabilities until he hits level 6, and even then he has no stun, he has no snare, has no silence, has no fear, has no nothing really. And of course Lee Sin can just dart around giving people shields, jumping on the opposition as well. And again, we really did see that happening in the last game. Lee Sin got gank after gank and Gangplank was nowhere to be seen. And we are going to see Misfortune probably going to be getting picked up from Frocky here, because Misfortune's AoE is also pretty tasty with her ultimate. Apologies, was just taking a quick drink. And yeah, it looks like Misfortune will be getting locked in here. So let's pass it over to the 3D Max team. They're going to take Teemo. I would love to see Teemo here. I don't know if he'd be going solo top or if he'd be going AD carry. I have absolutely no idea whatsoever. I do know that Skullmania is often their jungler, so I would expect a jungle to come in from him. Obviously, maybe they're not going to go for Teemo. A bit disappointed about that, but even still, Tristana is a very powerful AD carry either way. And looks like it's going to be Xin Zhao. Now, again, Xin is quite decent with the whole ganking aspect of jungling. He's also relatively ganky with his ganky and tanky, I guess you could say, with the fact he can knock people in the air, and his ultimate gives him magic resist and all sorts of other stuff. So, I mean, you can definitely see that 3D Max aren't necessarily playing 100% serious, but even still, these champions are good in their own right. And it's going to be interesting to see how this one goes off. Obviously, perhaps he was trying to troll me there. He has picked Udyr, and obviously Udyr is a great jungler, also very capable solo top laner, very difficult to harass Udyr. He has great sustain with, of course, his turtle form, can also stun with bear form, and get those quick jabs in with Tiger as well. And then he's got the AoE with Phoenix as well. On top of all of that, we're going to see Garen getting picked, who will more than likely be the solo top, and Taric coming in with the support role. So an interesting composition from pwA. They have quite a lot of AoE capabilities in the form of Brand, Misfortune, Garen can spin around as well, and of course the Tremors from Rammus as well will be just raining down. I do like Taric as a support champion, I think he's great with his little stun, and of course he's got a great heal as well, and on top of that his ultimate did get remade into damage on top of that. So obviously you've got quite a lot of AoE coming in from the pwA side, and Garen has been changed up for Nasus here. And if Nasus can get free farm at top with his Q and just stack Q over and over, he's a real force to be reckoned with. With that ultimate on, he just becomes an absolute Terminator. Nasus will be locked in here, and that's going to leave the last pick coming in from 3D Max. As he's kind of just flicking between a few champions here. either way, it looks like you're going to have Lux. Of course, this is going to be the mid-champion, but now he's switching over to Anavia. The only kind of weakness I can see is like Miss Fortune does a lot of damage, but once her ultimate starts, it's very easy to just cancel it altogether. Obviously, it is a channeling ultimate, so if you can silence her, if you can stun her, if you can kind of just move her, knock her in the air, whatever, then she's basically entirely useless when she pops ultimate. She really has to stay at the back of the team, and she really has to basically just shoot from afar. And that's where the likes of Anavia really become useful, because Anavia's first ability, that ice ball that she throws across, it's very easy to just stun Miss Fortune as soon as that ultimate pops off. So it's going to be a case of Rammus having to pick his targets very carefully here with that taunt, of course, and on top of that as well, Tarek is going to need to stun probably Tristana or perhaps Udia as well, because Udia just becomes an absolute wrecking machine once he gets even half fed. But either way, they're going to be the two lineups, guys. For pwA, you're going to have Brand, Miss Fortune, Rammus, Nasus, and Tarek. Nasus will be solo top, Rammus in jungle, Miss Fortune AD carry, Brand in mid, and of course Tarek coming in with support. And for the opposite team of 3D Max, going to have Mundo solo top, Alistair support, Udia in the jungle, Tristana, AD carry, and finally Anavia in mid. We're going to go for a quick break, guys. We'll wait for this delay to come and go, and we'll be back very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Hello guys, welcome back. As you can see, we are ready to go live here. About 40 seconds through, we are going to see once again 3D Max very aggressive into this same bush. Every single time they push in, Anvia is going to throw out that Ice Blast, and they're going to realise very quickly that no one is in there. So they are going to be marking towards that blue buff. I realise, guys, I pronounce Anivia incorrectly, but it's from where I am in UK. For some reason, I pronounce things differently sometimes. It's kind of retarded, but what can you do? So either way, you're going to see pwA pulling back to their blue. In fact, not pulling back to their blue, getting confused because obviously roles have been reversed, going to 3D Max's blue, and 3D Max kind of have cottoned on to the fact that this could very well be a possibility. So we could very well see a 5v5 team fight coming out here as we did in that first game. The thing that's going to really pay attention for pwA is the fact that they did have vision there, but Brand kind of failed his ability in as Alistair's going to flash in, pulverise the ground. Brandt has fallen very quickly. Tarek's having to flash away, but you're going to see Udia just pushing up with that Phoenix, going to do huge AoE damage. Anavi has picked up the second frag as well, with everybody getting assists. And that is just a huge start for 3D Max, and a bit of an epic fail from pwA. As they've lost 2 players, this is going to give 3D Max a very comfortable blue for Udia. And he has started off in a very easy kind of way. I apologise for that, guys. I had the stream open and then like a random advert came on, so I could not hear anything on my game sound, so I had to just quickly Alt-Tab and close that down. But either way, we have started, as I said before, with a 2-0 lead coming in from 3D Max, already 1.2k gold ahead. And of course, we are just about 2 minutes through this matchup. Ramis is going to be taking his red, very comfortably takes it out with that smite, and Udia is going to go up to his red as well. And it's going to get that with ease. For me, it's really going to depend for pwA's perspective if Nasus can manage to get a lot of farm with his first ability. If he can stack up that siphoning strike plenty of times, get free farm, he's going to be in a very good position here late game and mid game as well. In fact, with that ultimate popping, he can do so much damage. The thing with Mundo is he's a very kind of harassy character. Obviously, as you can see right now, he has popped on the Burning Agony, and he can continuously throw away that cleaver. As Udia has came in here, doesn't manage to land the stun as Nasus will flash away. And it was a nice attempt. They tried to set that gank up, did 3D Max, but weren't able to actually execute it in the way they wanted to. But now Nasus has to be careful, because I think Mundo is baiting him once again. But unfortunately, Udia just came out those bushes a tiny bit prematurely and gave his position away. Mid, some harassment going down as Udia is going to come into mid here. He has popped the bear form, could very well get Brand unless Brand can somehow get away from this situation. He's already burnt Flash from that prior team fight as he will get completely destroyed. Mundo in the meantime will take out Nasus at top. And once again I'm starting to fear for pwA getting completely steamrolled in this match as well. Of course, last game it finished up like 22 for 4, some crazy scoreline like that after about 15-16 minutes. And this is definitely heading in the same direction. 2.5k gold lead already in effect for 3D Max. Udia is going to come down to the golems. We'll see that the golems have been dropped, so realises that Ramis must be fairly close here. Ramis will powerball into Udia, but Udia is so strong right now. Obviously has the level advantage and both of the buffs as well. Alistair was just kind of lurking around as well in that jungle just in case Udia got into a spot of bother. And now both the junglers are going to do a dance again around this pwA jungle. Ramis, however, will escape as he has popped on his shield. His defensive ball has came to an end. Bottom lane is completely pushed back here for pwA, but unfortunately their jungler can't really do too much because Udyr is still lurking around, and Ramis must know this as well. And here we go again. They're going to try and come face to face. Udyr is putting down a fair amount of hurt, but he has been stunned. There are 3 versus 3 here. Udyr has been dropped. Alistair will pulverize into the air. Misfortune could very well be killed off Tristana. Indeed, she will be. And now Tristana's going to try and run away. Brand is coming down to help out. Will land his abilities, but Tristana has that heal. She has popped it, but there's Brand to finish it up with the auto attack. However, having said that, Anavir is coming down now. She is in the tri-bush, just going to wait, but there is a ward down as Brand will manage to land that stun. And Anavir has to pull back. And she's basically has no vision whatsoever. So doesn't know that Brand is starting to push up towards Wraiths. And they could very well meet once again here, as once again Mundo has taken down Nasus in a 1 versus 1. No ganks. Nothing happened there. Just mono and mono. And Mundo gets the upper hand. A couple people saying in chat that Mundo laning is quite strange, but I mean, Mundo's cleaver does so much damage, and of course he does have to sacrifice some health for his abilities, but you do get a percentage of your health back for landing that cleaver. So if you have a Mundo who can land those skill shots, he can consistently just throw out quite a bit of damage. And of course once he hits 6, he gets massive movement speed and health regeneration on top of that. So Nasus being completely outplayed at top right now. Mundo already has that tower at about a quarter health and could very well fall, but he's deciding to pull back here. Pick up the creep kills instead. So let's have a quick look at the creep kill differentials here. Mundo on 38, Nasus on just 14. That's kind of a huge difference there. And of course a 2 level difference as well, down to those 2 kills that Mundo has picked up in that top lane. And let's have a look at bot lane. You're going to have Misfortune on 27 creep kills, Tristana on 38, so again a fairly big difference for 7 minutes through the game. In mid, Brand on 25, Anivia on 39, just huge differences throughout here, and Udyr has just been pretty much ganking the entire time, hasn't been paying too much attention to those creeps, but even with that being said, he's still 10 creep score ahead of Rammus, and he's now going to come top and try and get that gank onto Nasus. Will Nasus' woes continue here? Very likely looking the case. Indeed, will go down for Mundo as Rammus comes in, gets the taunt onto Mundo. Great play from him, also flashed in, taunted him onto that tower, and used the tower to his advantage. In amongst all that action, Tristana also managed to get the upper hand onto Misfortune. So the kills to deaths overall for 3D Max are 8 to them, and 3 to pwA, so a 5 kill difference already. The gold tally starting to look a bit dire for them as well. 3.3k behind the pwA already in this game. And Tarek has to be careful because Alistair can pulverize him up in the end headbutt. Indeed, that's exactly what he's going to do. Tristana jumps on. They've got the ignite as well, and Tarek gets completely destroyed in bottom lane. Easy peasy for 3D Max once again. And it's just basically getting to the stage now where can pwA salvage a bit of pride? It's unlikely they're going to end up winning this game. We saw in the last game 3D Max took a very early lead and they just kept steamrolling down, snowballing their way to victory. But can pwA kind of put up more of a fight this time? That for me is the last question. Is look at Anavir's damage onto Brand. Brand has to run away there as Anivia popped a few spells, and you're now going to see the finishing off. Deary me. And we'll take down Brand with that frostbite. Rammus did try and come in to help his teammate, but too little too late. And look at top lane. Mundo has completely destroyed Nasus, has taken that tower down, way ahead on minion kills, way ahead on overall kills as well. And just too easy for him. He actually said in chat before, Mundo kills dogs as he pleases. I think that's pretty apt at the moment right now, but Rammus has come in, now put the ignite, has Mundo onto Nasus. Look at this tank ability from Mundo. He may even get a kill onto Nasus here. He is going to chase him down onto the tower, but he's actually going to get not snowballed, he's going to get speedballed from Rammus. Will take down Rammus though. And for a second I thought he was going to try and get that second kill as Anivia is going to come in, lands the ball onto Nasus. Nasus has to run away here. The nice wall comes down and that will be a frag for Mundo, but he gets dropped from the tower just instantly afterwards. But I don't think he's going to care too much about that. He's on 6 for 2 right now. And Anivia is on 2 for 0 with 2 assists. One-way traffic, ladies and gents. Cannot see pwA getting their way back into this one. To be completely honest, it's been so much of domination from 3D Max. They haven't even bothered to get Dragon yet. They haven't needed to. The ganks have just been flowing freely throughout this game. from Udyr, just going up and bottom and just destroying everywhere he goes. And of course Mundo, amongst all the action as well, has been slowly but surely completely caning top lane. As we are going to see some more action at bot lane, as Tristana will take down Misfortune. Taric looks to be biting the dust as well from Tristana. He did get the kill onto Alistair just before, but Tristana will finish off that double kill, taking it to 14 for 5 in favour of 3D Max. Does a little rocket jump, try and finish off some of these creeps. And the goal difference 6k now. Rammus is going to try and come in, try and land that taunt onto Tristana, but she uses those minions as a little security blanket. As Mundo will gank mid, 3 mid strong. I'm going to take down that mid tower. Brand gets crippled, and they could very well actually take down this second mid tower as well. Perhaps not, as Misfortune is going to come in. Will she pop off that ultimate? The answer, perhaps, or maybe not, as the minions are starting to go in single file. They will all be taken out with ease here. Again though, I mean, 3D Max could very easily pick up a dragon, but they just don't seem to care too much. So, Udyr has been caught in a fairly nasty position. Somehow he's managing to survive for this long. Could he actually get away? He's put up turtle form, got bear form as well. Brilliant wall coming down from Anivia. I have no idea how Udyr managed to survive. And Anivia will land the ice ball as well onto Nasus. And for me, that was just incredible play from Udyr. How he didn't get killed there is beyond me. Mundo will come in, land a cleaver onto Taric, straight between his eyes. And he's now popped his ultimate. Anivia has to be careful. She has no health or mana. Udyr also has no health. And this could be 2 kills relatively comfortably for the pwA side. But here comes Tristana, does the rocket jump. Alistair is going to pulverize Nasus into midair. Nasus was going for the kill onto Udyr. He actually procced that siphoning strike, but wasn't able to get anywhere close to Udyr in the end. And that's going to be 18-5. And it's really difficult, guys, to keep this game kind of exciting to a point where you believe pwA can come back into this, because this is basically just a carbon copy of the last game. This is deja vu for me. And as I'm talking, Tristana's picked up a kill onto Misfortune, but Rammus did taunt Tristana onto that tower, so it will be another kill for Rammus. Tristana saying nerf tower range. And Misfortune replying with nerf you. So yeah, I think there's a lot of you know, kind of light-hearted banter between these two teams. I think pwA know they're facing a very, very strong team in 3D Max. If you saw the elos before we actually started off these games, I think pwA have about 14 to 1500 on average, and then 3D Max are like 2,000 to 2,300 on average, and fairly big difference there. As Anivia is going to get caught here from Brand and Rammus, but the ultimate has came in, it bounces off, but didn't have anything to bounce back onto Anivia again, and there's the egg coming into effect. The first time I've actually seen the egg be popped. And we are 13 minutes through this game. Anivia hasn't died a single time. He's going to pop out that egg now, put down some serious pain and damage onto both Rammus and Taric, but both will escape. Misfortune with a nice flash through that wall, and that saved her own bacon there. But Brand still fell, so that was still a 1-0 victory to 3D Max. And overall in kills, it's a 21-6 victory, and about a 10k goal difference after 13 minutes. I mean, that is huge. By anyone's standards, that is a big, big difference. As you are now going to see Anivia in a spot of bother. She has been taunted, sorry, not taunted, stunned from Taric. And Taric is going to get completely leveled there. Anivia could very well survive this. Oh, Nasus must be raging as Anivia will get away. How many times have we seen these 3D Max players escaping on less than 100 HP? Anivia currently has 60 HP, but by the end of that fight she must have been on about 20. And we saw Udyr pull that off before, and we also saw Mundo escaping on little health. Look at him as well. He has popped that ultimate, so he's going to have a lot of health regen, of course, movement speed on top of that as well. He is going to be able to run backwards and forwards and kind of troll out the opposite team. You can see that Rammus is desperate to land that speed ball onto anyone he can. As Tristana's going to jump in here. Will she ultimate away? No, she won't, because Brand will flash. But he's on so little health, will drop to Tristana, and Tristana instantly down from Misfortune. But I don't think they're going to care too much about this whatsoever, as Udyr and Mundo could both get caught out. Mundo's movement speed is pretty nice though. He has Phantom Dancer, which of course is going to give him plus 15% movement speed. And Udia has bear form, which gives him movement speed. On top of that, look at this, they're waiting, they're laying on wait, they're sneaking around here like filthy ninjas, and they will take down Udia. And Avia's Ice Blast, though, completely cripples both Misfortune and Rammus, but they are going to manage to escape. But Udia did get dropped. And I don't think, to be completely honest, that they would have tried that on such little health if they were playing against a team that were closer to them. I think this is down to a bit of comfort, you know, they're kind of messing around a bit now. And Alistair is just going to jump in now onto Rammus. Did pulverize into the air. But of course they didn't have Tristana around, and if Tristana had have been there, probably would have been a kill. Tristana now has, well, she has the Bilgewater Cutlass, she has Zeal and a BF Sword, so her damage output is pretty insane. And if you compare that to Misfortune, who has Berserker's Greaves, one Doran's Blade and a BF Sword, there's quite a big discrepancy there. And that really is reflected on the fact that at the moment 3D Max are 12k ahead on gold. We are going to have another initiate here. Misfortune has popped the ultimate, but she's popping onto Alistair, who has his ultimate on himself, but takes pretty much no damage whatsoever. Tristana's going to jump onto Brand there. Brand should fall. Brand indeed will end up getting downed. And again, Tristana is playing a dangerous game here. Will Rocket jump away? Will get taken down from this tower, or will she? She's in a horrible position here. She's having to try and live and survive by getting that lifesteal off the minions. And if she makes one mistake, she is going to get taken down from this tower. Mundo's going to try and tank it. Mundo will drop. Tristana's going to drop as well. And Rammus will pick up a double kill that he really shouldn't have had. And again, that is pretty much down to the kind of overexertive team play 3D Max are now capable of doing. They know they can lose the next 2 or 3 team fights and still be way ahead on gold and kill difference. Udia was also tanking a couple of turret hits as well, but he's going to escape with bear form. He has a recurve bow, Heart of Gold, and Berserker's Greaves. He must have a fair amount of gold in his pocket as well, though. He's got about 600 gold. And he is going to get downed here from Misfortune, or is he? Is he going to escape once again? Oh my god, he is going to escape with 40 health points. And I can imagine that pwA is so frustrated right now. Another day that had an additional 6 or 7 kills, but that's not today. And now Alistair is going to chase down, headbutts Misfortune, going to pulverize her in the air, and Nivea comes in, just completely destroying Misfortune, finish her off with Frostbite. Of course, the ultimate had been put down, and she'd also landed that Flash Frost on top of it as well. Easy peasy for her. Udia has been stunned from Tarek. There is going to be a team fight kicking off here. Mundo's popped his ultimate. He has Burning Agony on as well. He's going to land that cleaver. And of course with Phantom Dancer, Mundo does all kinds of damage, as Rammus is going to have to be careful here. And basically, Rammus isn't really joining in this team fight, and for me that's kind of confusing, because you want Rammus to be one of the first people in there and one of the last people to escape. He is your tank, he is your engager, he is the stunner and the taunter, if you want to say that. And of course with Tremors on as well, he does a fair amount of damage, but he kind of just sitting back, he doesn't really care. Is he going to try and steal this Baron? It would be a 6 steal if he manages to do it. He's just going to walk in now, he's just going to kind of, you know, boss his way into Baron, and he's going to die. Tries the smite, basically just makes it easier for 3D Max to pick that one up. Now Misfortune is in a horrible position. She has flashed through that wall that Anivia put down, and she's going to get chased from Udia, Alistair and Anivia as well. Anivia's going to come up, could very well be the person that meets up with Misfortune here. I think she's going to be the person to take down Misfortune. She's trying to recall in the bush. Anivia's coming in. She has put down the ultimate, and look at that crushing blow from the Frostbite and the Flash Frost. Tristana will down Brand, and he's now going to try and take down the next 2 people in his 1v3 exchange. Already taken out one player. Has Ignite on Nasus. Could very well take down Nasus here, but it also has taken Ignite in return. Has also shut down Nasus. It's going to be a 1v1 now. Tarek is taking so much damage as Tristana is going to pull off this 1v3. Literally all by herself, takes down 3 players, no problems whatsoever. Anivia's going to come in now and try and save her teammate. She indeed will do so. And now Rammus could very well fall to Tristana as well, as Tristana's going to be chasing. And should get the kill here, indeed will do so. So Tristana picking up the Foreman. And now that was just ridiculous. I'm kind of speechless, because you don't expect one player to pick up 3 kills in a 1v3. That just kind of doesn't happen very often. But I guess if you're 16 for 4 with the items that Tristana has right now, I guess it is possible. Going to be an easy inhib mid-tower here for our 3D Max. Not going to have any congestion whatsoever. And Alistair is just going to basically stroll in, headbutt, pulverize Brand. Could easily finish him off here, but Brand will have to flash away underneath the tower. Tarek gets completely exploded. Mundo's going to be tanking both of the towers and all kinds of damage from the opposition. Anivia's going to try and land some abilities onto Misfortune. Very nearly takes her out, but Anivia could die off the tower. She's going to go into egg form. And I think Udia and Alistair are going to try and basically protect her while that channels out. Indeed, they will be able to do so. Anivia is now back up again and very much a threat. Tristana has jumped in, is going to easily take down Misfortune. Did actually ultimate Misfortune away, and she actually saved Misfortune there. She just hit her one more time, would have been a kill. But I guess Tristana is in a generous mood at the moment. Going to jump back in. I thought she was actually going to take down Rammus, but she got stunned from Tarek. And she is definitely going to die here. There we go, Brand will pick it up with all 4 of his teammates getting assist onto Tristana there. The overall score is 15 for 40 in favour of 3D Max. They're up, let's have a look, 16k gold ahead after 21 minutes. And there is no way back from pwA. There is absolutely no way back. Even if 3D Max went AFK for the next 5-10 minutes, I still don't believe that pwA would win this game. They're that much behind. You're going to have the team congregating back around the inhib here for 3D Max. It's a 4 versus 4 as Nasa's going to join in, make it a 4v5. But look at Tarek just going straight down their support. It's just going to get completely demolished from Udia. Udia now taking all kinds of damage from both the towers, and Brand is going to be dropped from Brand. It's that 1-for-1 exchange. Going to leave up 3 more players for 3D Max. Misfortune has been crushed from Alistair, but all that damage came from Anivia there with her ultimate, and of course Frostbite on top of that as well. Mundo going to be tanking in on his own. Finds a fair amount of damage from Brand. Brand will actually finish off Mundo. Let's have a quick look at the items then. What is Brand on at the moment? He seems to be doing fairly decent damage. He has 2 blasting ones, and he has 2 Doran's rings with the Sorcerer's Boots, so he's doing okay damage, I guess. And if you compare that to the opposition of Anivia, who has 2 of the Goddess, and she has the Soul Stealer. How many stacks on that Soul Stealer does she actually have? Let's have a quick look. She has 20 stacks, so she is going to be doing all kinds of damage. She currently has 160 increase. Well, I say 160. She's just been killed, so of course a third of that is going to come off. And very close Tristana to dying once again on 9 HP. You will not see a player closer to death in League of Legends than 9 HP at level 14. Any hit, even a minion, would have killed her then. But she will manage to somehow survive and escape. And that was actually kind of a crushing defeat for 3D Max in that team fight. They lost 2 players, and they didn't actually kill anyone there. Udia could very well drop as well, as Rammus is going to speedball in, very likely going to taunt afterwards, but Mundo's on the prowl. He's going to run in, put down Burning Agony, also going to pop his ultimate, going to be doing a lot of damage to Misfortune. He's going to target Misfortune actually, and Mundo has the Zeke's Herald, used to be called Stark's Savor. And he also has Spirit Visage. Spirit Visage is also a great item for Mundo, to be fair to him. He's still somehow alive, even though he's tanking kind of 3 or 4 players all by himself. Look at him just running around in circles. Nasus will pick it up. Back to 45-20, so you could say pwA are definitely making a comeback, a noticeable comeback at the moment. But Tristana is going to survive once again on 30 HP. Please, someone kill her. This is starting to get frustrating for me to watch. I'm not even playing. There you go, Nasus will finish her off with his AoE. He's going to finish it off with Spirit Fire. As Alistair, in the meantime, will take down Tarek, so support and support action, and Anivia is going to try and pick up this kill onto Rammus. Rammus desperately trying to run away, doesn't have enough mana, or he actually does just have enough mana for Speedball, and Anivia has missed that Flash Frost, but look at the damage. Rammus is just getting completely crushed from Anivia. Anivia's going to put in Flash Frost, going to finish it off with Frostbite any second now. There you go, down goes Rammus. Alistair's pick up blue. And Udia is in a 1v3 in mid, but he doesn't really care too much. He's got the slow put on him. Wither has been dropped onto Udia, but he is going to escape here. Just going to pop bear form. And that incredible movement speed will be able to dodge, take down this top inhib tower, and should be able to do so. I'll repeat what I said before though, guys, they haven't picked up a single dragon this game that I can remember. They just haven't really bothered with it. Their ganks have been good enough, their team fights have been more than good enough. They don't even have to touch dragon. Sure, they got Baron. They really haven't too much on dragon. No wards are coming out from either team as well. Don't really need them. Most of the action is going on in pwA's base right now, as Misfortune has been dropped from Anivia. Alistair finished off from Nasus, who does still have that Guardian's Angel up, so they'd be wise not to focus him. Rammus has also been dropped. Mundo's going to go in for the kill here onto Brand, but Tristana jumped in. Inhib has been dropped from Mundo. So that is 2 inhibs down. Going to be focusing on the Nexus tower. This game should be a GG in the next 10 or so seconds. Nasus is going to try and come in here onto Anivia. Huge damage going on to Nasus. Has that Guardian's Angel. Is going to come back up again, but will probably die instantly afterwards. Indeed will do so. Anivia will take down him with ease. Easy peasy 2-0 victory coming in here from 3D Max over pwA. They will progress through into the grand finals of this ESH TT Esports League of Legends Cup. I've been Metas with Chaos TV. Hope you've enjoyed the stream, guys, and we should have more League of Legends action coming up throughout this week. Stay tuned, and we'll see you tomorrow.